Welcome back, everyone, to Dubster Dive. And on one that has been annoyingly difficult to pull off, but let's see if I can give it a go. Alright, so this time Dubster Dive will be on Umineko Gold Edition. For those who don't know, Umineko no Naku Koro ni, or Umineko When They Cry, or When the Cicadas Cry, is a visual novel, a series of visual novels, rather, that are a pseudo-spiritual successor / kind of sequel to Higurashi that were released again from 2007 to 2010, with 4 chapters coming out first as the question arcs, and then a second 4 coming out known as the answer arcs. Much like with Higurashi, the question arcs raise questions about the characters involved, while the answer arcs, well, answer those questions, funnily enough. It's a murder mystery visual novel that also has supernatural elements with high-stakes fights included. So, kind of like shonen, I guess, in a sense, every now and again. Those who've played the visual novel, or read it, whatever you want to call it, will know exactly why it is so fucking amazing. Umineko is up there as one of my favorite visual novels of all time, and yeah, this is coming from someone who just finished playing it a few months ago. After finishing Higurashi, I heard Umineko from some people was even better, and it doesn't help that I heard some of the soundtrack and fell in love with it immediately. Just take a listen and you'll hear how amazing this soundtrack is for a second. Doesn't that sound fucking awesome? The whole soundtrack is full of songs just like this. It even has calmer, more somber songs too. It has a song for every situation, and the OST is done masterfully. It's easily one of my favorite game soundtracks, or soundtracks period of anything, hands down. Anyway, how to break down the story of Umineko. So Umineko follows the Ushrimia family, and yeah, it opens up with them going to their family gathering that they hold once a year on their own private island. The head of the family, Kenzo, happens to be a senile old man on his deathbed, going on about ravings about the love of his life, Beatrice, and how he longs to see her just one last time. Meanwhile, rumor has it that this Beatrice was the one who gave the Ushrimia family all of their wealth and aristocratic status. But they're aristocrats, right? I mean, they're high class, so close enough. Anyway, couple that in with Kenzo's 4 children and his grandchildren, as well as all of his, I guess, servants, maids, and staff on the island, and a typhoon that traps all of them on the island for the entire weekend, so no one can get outside help, as well as Kenzo's children all being in some form of debt or another, wanting the family fortune for themselves, for him to croak so they can claim it. I think you all see the setup here. Everything goes to shit when people start dying off. And that's basically the setup. It's a typical whodunit thing, but it's done so well. And again, the elements of supernatural thing here and paranoia that creep its way up. It's just like Higurashi. For those who don't know what Higurashi is, shame on you. But anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get to what Gold Edition is, shall we? So, Umineko was released by Manga Gamer on Steam and the Manga Gamer site a few years after it had finished back in 2010. I believe the Steam and Manga Gamer versions came out in 2015, 2016. But on November 1st, 2018, a company known as Catbox Creative, who I'd never heard of before now, would announce that they would be doing a Kickstarter to give Umineko, the visual novel, a full English dub. I'm not gonna front with you all, this visual novel is long as fuck. Completing all 8 chapters of it took me close to 200 hours when I was playing through it with someone, and it was definitely worth it. It is an investment, but again, It's one of my favorite VNs. So, along with this announcement, they did release a 20-minute video on YouTube, which, if you just type in Umineko English dub, it should be the first result. I highly recommend checking it out. That gives us a little preview of how this dub would sound. It doesn't spoil anything major for first-timers, so if that's what you're worried about, I'd say give it a shot. It picks up right when the first people start getting knocked off, so you get a feel of how a lot of these voice actors would do in an emotional situation as these characters. Firstly, they even covered the opening, Katayoku no Tori, in English. And it's covered by Amelie or Amanda Lee. You know, the one who's known for doing English covers. I think she did an alright job with this. Katayoku no Tori, by the way, is the opening for the anime adaptation, which is an interesting choice, because the anime adaptation is kind of crap. Maybe I'll talk about that in a bit. We'll see. But for now, let's get to our protagonists, shall we, and who they're voiced by. First, we have Battler Ushrimia. He's the typical energetic, enthusiastic one of the group. He's also the one, I guess you could say, not believing that these deaths were caused by supernatural means, when they're presented in very, strange circumstances. Yeah, Umineko's very brutal. I'm gonna warn you all up front about that as well. If you're squeamish at all, probably not best for you. Anyway, Battler is voiced by Kyle Eknesi? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Eknesi? He's known for voicing Kirsch, Vermilion, and Black Clover, Honey, and Nanbaka, the Alien in Gleipnir, and yes, that character's name is just Alien, and Nineheart, or as we like to call him in my circle of friends, Historia from Fairy Tail. And I'm gonna be honest, normally when I play through a visual novel, I've explained this before, I like picturing some of my favorite voice actors, voicing the character, hearing them come to life. For Battler, I'd imagine someone like Vic doing his Ed voice. And no, it's not because of my bias. In all seriousness, Kyle at first, I was a little worried. Would he be able to pull this off? I think he does a damn good job. Hearing, the emotional weight behind his scenes that he has in this little preview, I think he would have done alright. I kinda wish we got more, but oh well. After that, we have George, one of the other grandchildren of Kenzo. George is, I guess you could say, the nerdy one of the group. He's voiced by Josh Greeley, or Josh Grell, whatever you want to call him. He's known for voicing Armin in Attack on Titan, Shido in Date Alive, the Grand Priest or Grand Minister, whichever your persuasion is, in Dragon Ball Super, the main and quintessential quintuplets. I could go on and on. And this is definitely one I approve of 100%. Josh does amazing in this role. Next, after him, we have the next, grad kid on the list, Jessica Ushrimia. She's the tomboy of the group. Voiced by Brittany Karbowski. Brittany Karbowski we've covered here numerous times. Wendy from Fairy Tail, Rimuru from That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, Misaka from the A Certain franchise, and again, another choice I wasn't expecting. She's one of the last people I would have put in this role, but it works. I would have loved to have heard more, since we don't get very much, but it is what it is. I feel if we did get more, she would have done a great job. Next, the last one of Kenzo's grandchildren, we have Maria, who's the youngest, the lolly of the group. Voiced by Sarah Wiedenhaft. I'm not a fan of this one in particular, but let me explain. Okay, so in the early parts of the visual novel, Maria is presented as very spoiled and kind of annoying. But as it goes on, people will agree she's one of the characters whose expectations on them are subverted masterfully. And yeah, I don't think Sarah Wiedenhaft could do it justice, not gonna lie. doing Maria's backstory. Sarah Wiedenheft, by the way, for those who don't know, is the voice of Zeno from Dragon Ball Super. The voice of Kiriha from Sugimomo. And she's voiced in a bunch of other shit currently. Funimation can't stop whoring her out. She's also Ruri in Assault Lily currently. And how do I put this? She's an okay voice actress, but not one I want to put on A tier in a visual novel that I feel deserves an A tier dub, if that makes sense. Anyway, so, not to mention, she only gets one line with Maria in this whole thing, so it's not much to go off of either. Some people will disagree with me, and that's cool. It's your own opinion, yo. After her, we have Genji. I guess you could say the lead butler of the servants for Kenzo. Genji is voiced by Bill Jenkins, who is known as Von Karma from Ace Attorney. The older Von Karma, obviously. The replacement for Zebes in Overlord Season 2. Rest in peace, Ed Laylock. You will be missed. And he's also Being X in Saga of Tanya. And this is, again, perfect casting. Zebes in Overlord is kind of the butler of Aizo Gon. And I like this. I like his portrayal as Genji with what we got. So, good on you, Sound Cadence. Yeah, Sound Cadence were the ones who was doing this stuff. I was going to say that at the very end. Fuck it, said it now. After that, we have Nanjo, Kenzo's physician and doctor, voiced by Francis Henry. Francis Henry is known for voicing Siba and By the Grace of the Gods, Momonga in One Piece, and Gilbert in Blood Blockade Battlefront. And I feel, again, this is another great casting. Not the person I was expecting, to be honest. But, yeah, I approve, 100%. Good job. After Nanjo, we have Kanan, the, I guess you'd say, male maid of the group, of the servants, voiced by Bryson Bogwis. We've talked about him here before as well. Seiya from the Netflix dub of Saint Seiya. Belle from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, and most recently, he's Falco in the final season of Attack on Titan. And again, perfect casting. When playing through the VN, I imagine Johnny Ambosh voicing this character, but this one works just as well, I feel. Kanan is, well, he's standoffish and a bit brash at times, and I feel this works perfectly. So, yeah. The dub so far has been so good. You know, it has some misses, but it's alright. Next, we have Ava, Kenzo's daughter, and the mother of George. Voiced by Cynthia Krantz. You know, Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball. I don't think I need to say any more than that. And she's alright. Look, Ava's one of those characters who has heavy moments later. Cynthia Krantz is a great voice actress and all, but not sure if she could pull it off when Ava goes apeshit psychotic at certain points and has to laugh like a maniac and stuff. Those who've played the visual novel will know what I mean, but I'm trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible. Anyway, we're almost done. Unfortunately, we don't get everyone voiced. After her, we have Hideyoshi, her husband. Voiced by Kent Williams? Kent Williams is most known for voicing Dr. Gero in Dragon Ball. He's also father in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you know, the main villain of everything. And, again, I think this one is a good choice. The problem is, they gave him a thick southern accent, and it's kind of hard to take Hideyoshi seriously. To put it this way, when they stumble upon the bodies in this part of this VN that they show off, he goes, "This is the work of a demon!" And he says it like that, like with a thick southern accent. It's hard not to crack up at. I'm sorry. I know they want me to take it seriously. Is it me? Am I the dick? I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a bit of an asshole, but come on. Otherwise, I think Kent Williams is a good fit for Hideyoshi. just when the dub officially were to come out, I'd say tone down the southernisms just a bit, man. Now, the last one we have to go off of is Kumasawa, who's the oldest of the servants, and she's voiced by Linda Young. Again, not much to go off of, all they did was announce her. Linda Young is the voice of Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho, and old Frieza from Dragon Ball. And I feel, again, great casting. But, yeah, that's all we've got so far. Yes, I'm serious. They didn't even get a chance to announce Beatrice. Fans of the VN will know why this is an issue. One of the major characters throughout the entire franchise. I feel like they should have let us know who was going to voice her. The ADR director for this, as well as the script adapter, was Emily Fujardo, or Fujardo, however you wish to pronounce that. And I'm not familiar if she's done anything else ADR directorial related. Someone will correct me in the comments. I should note this is alleged and I can't confirm because this wasn't posted, but I believe the narrator was Amberly Connors. Again, not sure on that, so don't quote me. But yeah, again, it's just a 20-minute teaser with what was to come almost 3 years ago, which is probably why I should get back to that. But from what I heard, I give my final thoughts on the dub. God, learn to talk. It was alright. Again, Sound Cadence handled the dub, but I'm wondering, they're known for getting a mix of California and Texas voice actors. Why were all these guys from Texas? That's my question. Whatever. If I had any nitpick in this dub, it's that when Battler stumbles upon the bodies, he talks about seeing gruesome scenes like this before in horror movies, TV shows, and comic books? Pretty sure he says manga in the VN. Don't know why they changed that. That's a bizarre edit, but alright. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, someone will let me know. But yeah. Overall, I do recommend checking the dub out. It doesn't spoil anything major for the visual novel, and if anyone says anything about it, like it does, I don't know. I don't think it does, personally. It's in the first part of episode 1, like the beginning hours of the VN, a few hours in. And I feel it was a good job putting it there to showcase how some of these people would have voiced like. But back to history lesson time, I suppose. Let's find out if we can dissect exactly what happened with this English dub and why it kind of died out. So, the Kickstarter was set to launch on November 7th, with, Voices of Rokenjima, the name of the island they're on, by the way, is Rokenjima, to be an audiobook that would have been included, as well as a free podcast on iTunes. And they were going to make other tier lists and all this sort of stuff. It was delayed to November 11th, a few days later, to add more stretch goals from what I could find. But then it was delayed again when a key staff member, allegedly Emily Fujardo, again, I cannot confirm that, but maybe it's true, had to face some sort of emergency, but that she recovered from it in December, or that the staff member, you know what I mean, recovered in December, and they said the Kickstarter would resume shortly. That was December 2018. It's now going into March 2021. I think you can see the problem. We haven't heard shit since then, and I don't think we're ever going to. Just as even more confusion for this clusterfuck, there are several groups involved with this. Firstly, Ryokishi07, the writer of the When They Cry franchise himself, and 07th Expansion, the team he's with, approved of this and were heavily involved with the project. As well as Manga Gamer, the people who published the game over here in the US, or the West in general, they might do it in the UK. Witch Hunt, the team of translators for Umineko, Catbox Creative, and Sound Cadence. That's 5 different teams all involved in this one project, which means there's a good chance if one of them wasn't feeling it, the whole thing would fall apart. We could theorize that that's probably what happened. From what I saw, someone did ask Catbox in Twitter in 2019 if it was still going on, and they said it was, but they were still waiting on approval from Ryukishio 7 or something. Again, someone will correct me on that one, but yeah. I think I have a few theories as to why this might have died out. So, currently right now, Higurashi When They Cry Go is airing. Witch Hunt are also allegedly translating from their last update, pretty sure they still are. Umineko When They Cry Saku, an updated version with more content that they want to put on Steam. So, that's a lot of When They Cry stuff. Maybe they don't want to put out the Gold Edition, which was titled, because it might, overwhelm the market, I suppose? There's also the fact that, I don't know, maybe Sound Cadence and Catbox Creative, the ones who put this together, realized they bit off more than they could chew. Umineko is notorious for being long as fuck, as stated earlier. Maybe they should have started with the Higurashi visual novel instead? Because that one is a lot shorter. Or at the very least, do a sort of test. Translate and dub Umineko into English Chapter 1, or Episode 1, whatever you want to call it. And see how it goes. That's what I'd suggest doing, I don't know. Other theories suggest that they are still working on the project as we speak, and, you know, NDAs and all that stuff, which, that is possible as well. I personally doubt it, but who knows. But I'd like to hear your guys' theories. Let me know in the comments section, or whatever, if you want to talk to me, etc. Now, as far as anything else, like fun facts, yes, there is an Umineko anime by Studio Dean that came out in 2009. I think it's fucking terrible. The Higurashi anime, I actually do think is alright. It has flaws, but is an okay adaptation for people to watch if they don't want to read a 100-hour VN. Umineko's anime was not so lucky. Well, they tried making an anime before the visual novel was done. I think you can see the issue. Funnily enough, people asked Funimation to dub Umineko's anime, as stated back in the Higurashi video, that Funny had no interest in dubbing anything When They Cry. Ironic that they're now dubbing Higurashi Go. Oh yeah, that's getting its own episode at some point, trust me, I got a lot to say on that fucker. That dub is, something else. Either way, however you choose to experience Umineko, this is one of my favorite visual novels of all time, like I said. I played it at the perfect time last year. Because, let's be real, 2020 was kind of a shit year. No one's gonna argue that. And Umineko dealing with themes of grief, getting over loss, as well as persevering and learning to live and move on through the hardships and bullshit. No, it sounds cheesy, but I don't think there's a more powerful message than that. It's the reason I love Danganronpa so much. Because the theme that you can always have hope no matter how bad things get. I don't know. A message like that really means a lot to me and stands out. So, I hope you all enjoyed this one. It was difficult for me to do this one, mainly because it's always hard to talk about something you have a real passion for and absolutely love. And yeah, I fucking love Umineko, as you can tell. I hope that this does come to fruition, and if the Kickstarter does emerge, I'm gonna shill the hell out of it. I'm being honest. And I hope all of you guys will too. But yeah. Please check out Umineko if you can, guys. You won't regret it. It's a bit of a slow start, but it's well worth it. I hope you all have yourselves a great day. Thank you all so much for watching. And let me know what you think of Umineko, or the When They Cry franchise as a whole. Love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any theories as to what happened. And if you have any requests for us to cover something, let me know, and maybe we'll cover it at some point. As for next time, Manana March is upon us. And the first one we're covering is kind of a doozy. Till then, everyone, I hope you all have yourselves a great day. I keep saying that, damn it, becoming a parrot. Thanks again for watching.